your company, guiding your transactions, it will be very, very difficult. So back to what I was saying, this realtor, we saw in the video where she was telling the company that she brought a client that bought into the company, that bought land from the company, and then she told the client, okay, just pay for the land. You can take your time with the documentation to pay up the documentation, like other fees, like survey, development levy, and all that. So there was no, like for instance, you have 3 years to start developing it, to start building it, else you sell it back. And within that 3 years, before 3 years, you must have paid, because before you start building, you must pay all your documentation, all your development levy, you must pay it before you start commencing any development. That's what shows that, okay, you have paid for other fees and you start development. Okay? So now, this particular lady told her client, just take time, small, you'll be paying in. And the client, obligated and started and made the payment for the purchase of the land. And then started doing the payments small for the other fees. Then all of a sudden, he finished the whole payment after everything, after some time. And then just for them to go and get their documents from the company was not telling them that they are out of contract. Now, out of contract, she was wondering, well, how come? What does that mean? What do you mean by out of contract? The company told them that from our terms and conditions, you have 90 days to finish your payment for other fees.
And they are receiving when he was paid.
So now, that's what I'm saying. So now, I don't know the end of the story. I don't know what later happened, but trust me, it's going to be something stressful. Except the company is trying to just trying to make sure there's an understanding going on here. I think they were even talking about refund or something. And remember, if you're talking about refund, you see they got some money. So that whole process is stressful. If you want to go to court self, is money consuming and stressful. So you can imagine, that is why it's very, very important. As a realtor, as a consultant, I was teaching yesterday at a particular company, and I told them, one thing you must try to do as a consultant is to make business easy for your clients. Remember, those clients will not really come to the company directly. They will be coming through you. You are the one that consulted them to buy into the property. So they'll be coming through you every time. So that's why it's very, very important. So you could see the kind of stress the lady might be passing through right now to make sure everything goes smoothly. The company is telling them they're out of contract. Now, she was saying, I did not see it in the terms and conditions. And the company was saying it is there. So that is it. That is very, very important, even before you as a realtor, because let's not be after convincing the client just to make payments, okay? Because most of these clients are not even aware of the other fees they are paying. They're not aware. Most of them don't even understand the whole real estate principle or policy. Because if there are people that they understand about the business, they will know that, okay, it's not a new thing. Because some people feel or think anything about land is just buy it from the price and then go and pack in. You understand? So that's why we need to explain all these things. Not because we are after our profit, but because we are trying to avoid future problems. Future problems. I don't know how many of us I remembered when Mr. Dixon was narrating to us how his own gave him issues when he was still a realtor. Many years back, they are still disturbing him about allocation. So that is why, before you market for any company, actually, first of all, look into the company. Check their policy, check their terms and conditions, and know if it's what you like first before you now start marketing. And then when you are doing the marketing, when you are consulting people, you also tell them, look at what is involved in this land. Look at what is involved. Because once there's signature signed on that, it means there's an agreement already. Okay? I don't know, many of us must have seen the funny stuff that happened. I think it was last month. A particular realtor was complaining that we refused to pay them commission. When I saw the message, I just smiled and said, this has never happened in this company before, about paying commission. Now, what actually happened was that they bought land from the company, a particular client. But now, the realtor is a lady, and then she was using her husband as a downline. And that is against our realtor's policy in this company. You don't use your family member as a downline. I don't know. I'm not even aware of. I don't even know them, baby. I don't know them. I know them physically. I don't know their names. So, but this was all going on. So they were busy causing havoc on the WhatsApp group. We have 3 WhatsApp groups. So I think one of them, they were busy causing havoc, posting up and down. threatening the company that they will send the company online, they will post the company online, blah, blah, blah. We just ignore them. Now, Mr. Dixon said that first of all, they have disobeyed our policy by using because they were forging the old stuff. They didn't want us to know it was the husband. Because what most people do is this. For instance, now, somebody like Coach Park might recruit realtors. Maybe they came through him. Naturally, they should be his downline when they make sales. So when they make sales, the company pay them their commission and also pay somebody like Coach Park or any other person that brought them. Now, but what most of them now does is this. Because they want to manipulate the commission. Because company pays about 23% commission total. Yes. So they want to manipulate the commission. So what they do most times is when they now come in, somebody brought you. So and then when they're not filling their form, or when they're filling their form, when they have made sales, they will not put somebody else, maybe their brother or sister or husband or wife as their upline. Wow. That means if company pays them, company will also pay the brother and they will collect their own commission from that place too, or collect the whole money. This is what they do. And then, for instance, somebody like Coach Park might say, my downline mate said that not see my money. The company will now start tracing it back to say, how come, why did it happen? How did it happen? And they will discover that this person manipulated the whole process. And one of the things which we're going to be reviewing about that is they'll just remove it from this company, don't market again. So this one thing is very, very important. That's why we need to go through all these policies to make us understand what we are doing, the do's and don'ts. For instance now, like people like us, our staff in this company, although I think I'm looking towards that for us to review it again, but our staff in this company, we don't recruit realtors. We can recruit, but we don't have any commission for it. Yes. We can make sales, they'll pay us commission. When it comes to realtors, we can recruit just as help the company make sales, but we are not their uplines. The company is not paying us for them making sales. Because I think something must have happened many years ago. So companies tend to avoid you bringing a realtor as your downline. And because I'm the one in charge of registering the realtor, I will not put the person under me instead of under you. That is why staff don't have any downline in the company. Although some companies does that. So we're trying to make sure we avoid all those things. We avoid anything that has to do with manipulation of commission, manipulation of realtors and all that. So this is why these things are very, very important. You don't want to make a sale that in the next 5 years you're still having headache for that sales. We don't want that here. And that is why once you are done with your payment, your other fees, company gives you instant allocation. Just like in Enugu now, there is 2 buildings, massive ones in phase 1, standing already, roofed. By now they must have gone far again. Yeah, what's in Enugu phase 1? How can you stay a child? Is the child making sense? They will not be your downline. They will not be. Just let her just be making sense for our own, because you're trying to avoid anything that has to do with misunderstanding.
It's just good that we are going to treat that.
Yes. That's what we're doing today.
In the middle of something now, similar to what you're saying. And the person I think should be eligible now. But I've already WhatsApp with that to try and get to the person.
Okay.
It's related to this very review of this thing, because the man was not concerned about the money to pay, but the vendor's fees.
Exactly. Most people, you see, that's why in this industry, there is, I keep saying it, most times you must not stick to a particular rule, because most clients, they will ask you how much is involved. When they ask that question, how much is involved, they're talking beyond the price.
Yes.
The price might be 2 million naira. So most of them want you to tell them, like, okay, this is 2 million naira. Every other thing is making it like, let's say 2.7, 2.8, for instance. So just give them the total package. They know that, okay, once I pay this money, they're giving me my land, and I'm done. They don't want to hear this kind of, because most people don't like all this much more, but you know why the company does that? To explain it to you. That because some people will be like, no, the thing is expensive, no? So you have to break it down to share everyone their own money. But what matters initially first is that price for just pay for the land. Because you can take maybe 3 months, 6 months to complete other ones, depending on the company policy. This is where companies don't add that one into the price, so it won't scare people away like that. Just like somebody like me now. I shared this story a certain time. I think it was last year. we wanted to floor our compound in the village. And then they started the project. We just keep hearing, we need sand. 1 more trip, 2 more trip, 3 bags more, 5 bags more. When I came back, I was asking the guy in charge, I said, okay, why is this whole thing not eating more cement more than we expected? He smiled and said, if I tell you people everything that it will cost, you will run, you will not do it. So let's start first. So once we start, we'll tell this one has finished. You want to finish it too. So this is how many of them does it. But I was like, no, I don't like that pattern. Just tell me everything. I will know if I'm ready for it or not. It happens. I was renovating a particular one of my studio. And then the money I was budgeting for carpentry took more than times 3 of the money I was budgeting. Because they'll be telling you, we need plywood, we need this one. That's the thing. So most people prefer just tell them the whole thing once. You know, this world is involved for everything. And if they can pay, they just pay and go their way and leave about any other stuff. Most people don't like hearing payment for this one after they must have done the payment. So that's why I explain to them everything. If they want to key in, they can key in. So let's proceed now. Yes.
It's not about people joining this company or whatever it is.
Okay.
But it's about the system in the company.
Yes.
So what I'm trying to say here is that whenever any new person is coming in, whether it's offline or downline, let it be that a kind of a documentation.
Yes, we have that now.
Be prepared.
Yes, we have that. We already have our form.
It has to do when you are giving someone this rotor ID card or something.
Yes, yes,
So all this has to be attached.
yes,
And you have to add the person
yes.
to go through this whole form. If he's contented with it, then he can now
Sign.
fill up
Yes.
and sign.
We have all those things in place now.
So I think it should be
Mhm.
given to individual. Let them go home with it,
Yes,
go through it before they could agree,
yes.
and also the company will accept it.
Very true. We have that. Thank you so much. We have that already. Though we have our own consultant form, but we made another upgrade on it. We even have the soft copy, the PDF. Anybody, anywhere can have it, both Enugu. So once we forward it to them, they will print, read it through, and sign it. Just 2 pages. I think it's 2 pages, and bring it back. We'll accept it. So that's to show that okay, we have an agreement now in everything we are doing. So whatever. But those people I'm talking about, they already knew about this whole policy for the routers. So that is just it. Let's proceed. Now this is about the corporation. Superfly Limited is a liability company, limited liability company incorporated under the relevant laws in Nigeria, and a certified radar member with core value and focus on real estate development, brokerage, and management. Most of us may not understand what radar means. Radar means Real Estate Development Association of Nigeria. This is a very powerful association in the industry right now. We have a certificate, and most companies are not aware of this radar yet. But this radar is like the government sector of this real estate industry. And that is why we saw the future and we keyed in quickly for it. Now we have our properties we have in Asaba Phase 1. I think we put out the video recently about that, what's going on there. The fencing project have commenced already in the Phase 1. And we have Phase 2, Asaba Delta State 2. And massive development is going on there also. And we have Vatican Garden Estate Phase 1. That one is sold out. This one is sold out. We just have few plots remaining in Phase 2 Asaba. And then we have Vatican Garden Estate Phase 2 Enugu, which is currently on sale. So let's proceed. Now, this is the terms and condition for investing in Vatican Garden Estates. This one is meant for investing, meaning it's more of the client. So you should know it as a consultant when you are explaining it to them. Now, all these things, we even have it on the video. We have a video format of this. We keep sharing it most times to people. It's on our YouTube channel there also. We have it on our websites too. So you can even have your own PDF file on your phone. You forward it to your prospects. They go through it before talking about making payments. So there won't be any misunderstanding. They make sure they go through it. Yes, we have the video on the platform. We have it on our YouTube. We have it on. If you need, we can even send it back again on WhatsApp. We have the PDF file too. Okay, we have the PDF file too. Now, so look at it. It said, note, please note the following. You are advised to read these terms and conditions carefully before subscribing to the estate by appending your signature. Your confirmation of subscription by the company is conditioned by your acceptance and compliance with these terms. These terms apply to all clients and successors entitled to the said land. By signing these terms, you agree to abide by the terms. If you disagree with any part of these terms, you are advised against subscribing. So even the company is pleading to people, don't buy if you don't want to accept the conditions that we have mapped out here. It's better you just leave the land for people that will accept it. And the conditions they're not even difficult. They're still favorable conditions, just to make sure everything goes well. Most of the times, why companies apply this policy is not because they want to be strict, but because it's not even because of everybody. Because they have seen that some people always want to take advantage of other people or other stuffs. You can see people now, for instance, most estates have building pattern, roof pattern. Somebody will just go there and start building anything they like. Now you could imagine what it means now for somebody to not to go through the company's policy and then start building any nonsense, and then tomorrow it falls or collapse. It will affect the image of the estate. People will be like, why did the building collapse? They start mentioning the name of the estate. It affects that estate. It affects the company. This is where most companies go through all this policy to make sure everybody abides by it. Okay, let's proceed. Now, the purchaser or client will pay for the following documentation fees per plot. Now, the idea is Vatican Garden Estate Enugu, survey fee for plot size is 460 square meter, and the survey fee is 160,000 naira. And then 300 square meter is 160,000 naira per plot. Okay? Now, the B is development levy, which is 1 million naira per plot. This is for Enugu. And then look at what it says, subject to review upwards. Why there is review upwards is because this whole development levy is based on the price of the land. For instance, when we were selling phase 1, we started with 3.5 million naira, I think 3 million naira. Then from there we moved to 5.5 million naira, and from there we moved to 8 million naira. So whenever there is increment in the price, the development levy comes up too. So that is why it's subject to review upwards. So whenever the price increases, when it comes to the price of the land, the development levy will also increase. Now, this is Vatican Garden Estate Asaba. Survey fee for plot size is 150,000 naira per plot, both for 460 square meter and 300 square meter. I think we have more of 460 square meter. Now, the other fee that needs to be paid is the deed of assignment fee, which is 50,000 naira per plot for both Asaba and Enugu. Plot allocation fee, 50,000 naira per plot. In other words, for instance, if we are selling Enugu 2.5 million naira, but promo price is 2 million naira right now, other fees involved in the Enugu is development levy, and then deed of assignment and plot allocation fee. So this is 100,000 naira, and then this is 1 million naira. So 160. Yes, for survey fee for 160, yes. So when you put all these things together, they get to know the actual and total amount of the money they are paying. So that's it for that one. Mr. Bright, the Enugu is 1 million naira, right, for the development levy? Yes. What about, I'm not saying for the Asaba. Okay, yes. I'm not there yet. So now, Vatican Garden Estate Asaba development levy is 700,000 naira per plot, and also subject to review upwards, like I explained. Now, which will contribute to the provision of the following infrastructures. It is from these development levies, that's when you can come and shout at the company for not giving you drainage system. Because sometimes you enter some estate and you are seeing water planted everywhere. It's because most of them are just only collecting money for price of the land, and everybody just go and do whatever. Go and kill yourself in the estate if you like. But when it comes to organized companies, they make sure all these things are in place. There's security, they are paying security people, there's electricity, all these poles, street lamps and poles, access roads, perimeter fencing and gatehouse. So these are the things that all this money per plot will help the company to push. Like, for instance, now in Enugu Phase 1, there are people working there already. Like, we have security people that the company has employed, that the company is paying them to make sure they guide the whole environment. Because people already have their property there. You know, all these building materials, zinc, wood and all that, expensive stuff, cement, they are guiding it and they are paying them already. In Enugu, we already have street poles that are showing light already in Phase 1 on their building. So these are the stuffs, all this money will help us to do. Now, like I said, note, the development levy can be paid on installment basis. Now, but one thing that happens here is, when your development levy is 1 million naira, for instance, in Enugu, and then the land is 2 million naira promo price, 2.5 actual price. If the land appreciates, let's say to 3 million naira, if you are still on if you're still on installment payments with that development levy, your money will still go high because you didn't meet up before the land appreciated. So let's say they increase the development levy to 1.5, you still have to pay 1.5. That's why you have to be fast to make sure you meet up with the duration to pay up quickly. Because you can't tell me you are paying something and then the price increase, you still want to remain there. That's why you need to be fast to make sure you meet up. Let's proceed. I hope this place is clear. We don't have any question. Because if you have any question, let's ask it now. Before, yes.
You mean that 950,000 naira?
For what? Asaba.
Yes.
Yes.
Then 1.260 million for.
Yes, for that fees. It's called for documentation. Now let me explain these things. You know, most times people will be like, this thing is not too much. People are giving all that fee like this. Now, this is where the real estate company comes in by answering real estate company. Remember, when you are buying land from just an individual, let's say a family member or anybody, what they will give you is just the documents they have. And most of them, what they just have is just normal survey of the land. Now, you as an individual that wants to go higher with that land, if you start going to allow us to apply for that document, like C of O, those things, it will stress you and you will pay money. I just learned from one director. He was telling me that what most of them do, they know Nigeria now. What most of them do is that you will submit your document for land, maybe you want to obtain C of O. He said you will sort every table. You will sort table by table before they process your document. So if you don't do the rest of your documents there, you won't get your title you are looking for. So all these things are just stressed and all that. But this is where the company now comes in. Because they acquire this land maybe from a family, massive lands, and then they will do everything at once by paying all those fees to government, pay for surveyor. Like the company has surveyor for the company. They pay him to survey the land and everything. Put stamp from the government and all that stuff. So company now does these things on behalf of everybody. So when people are not paying, they are paying back to the company to get all these things done. So that's how it is. Because if you want to do it on your own, you even spend more money. You will spend more money. Imagine sorting every table. I think he was telling me how much he used to give every like if you go to this particular table now, let's say the front desk in the whole government stuff, you will start that table, maybe drop 100K. They will now push a document to the next table that was signed. You drop all that money. This is how they will be doing it. Sometimes it takes 6 months before you get your documents and all that. So, water in the estate. Yes, we have. Yeah. Maybe it was it's not here, but we have that in our videos too. Tank stand. We have tank stand. I can remember. I'm sure I did that video. Maybe we forgot to add this here. We have tank stand for water in the video. No, those documents does not apply to our estates. Any title we are giving in our estate is what our estate has. In other words, nobody has. That's what I'm saying now. Any document at all, any title at all, the company brings out and say, this is our title. It means for that point, that's the title of the land. Nothing like CFO or anything. It also means that nobody will come and give any issue now, because the land is managed by the company. I don't know if you are getting my point. So when company says the title of the whole land here is survey plan, it means all of them are survey plan.
No,
You-
what I'm saying is that some clients
Mm-hmm.
they believe that CFO is the ultimate.
Mm-hmm. So you mean the company? That's what I'm telling you now. Most times, most of Southeast land is more of survey plan. Nobody has all this time for CFO stuffs. It's more here in Lagos where people are dragging land too much. I know some, like the Enugu phase 2, the first one was CFO, but the company paused that land because of the document was not complete for the CFO, so they left the land there. But I'm trying to tell you that whenever the company says this is the title of our land, it means that you as a client don't have issues, because the managers of that land is the company. It's not as if you're taking the land with anybody or anybody's trying to touch it, because as far as you have your own documents, nobody's going to drag the land with you or anything at all, because everything is managed by the company. For instance, now let's say a place like Greenfield Estate in Agor here, maybe I don't know the documents. It might be governor's consent. It might be, I don't know the document at all. But it just means that once you buy from the company, they give you your own document and your own title. Everybody has the same title. Like in this estate now, nobody will come and tell me they have CFO and your neighbor have survey plan. It's not possible. If company wants to upgrade the title, they will still do it in the whole land generally. You understand? And so that's what it means. So, but for the company to come out and say, okay, we are selling this land in this title, it means they are okay with the title as a company. If they want to proceed for further titles or whatever, they can still do that on their own. That's what I'm saying. That's what I can say for that one.
Is there any way all this price can be included to the normal price? I mean, put it together.
Putting it together is maybe from your own end, and depending on the person you are dealing with, because we have different people. Some of them want you to break everything down. Each step I take, how much is it? Let me know and calculate by myself. Why some people will ask you, what is the full package? Just tell me, once I pay this money now, I will not pay any dime again. This is now when you as a realtor will now calculate everything and give it to them. But company needs to be plain, because most people will be like, this land, 3.5 is too much, it's too expensive. But they forget that the actual price is just 2 million naira. But because of other fees, it's not made them to come up to that level. This is why company just maintains, they'll show you the price and they'll show you other fees involved. Now, why that thing is important is that because most times, as an investor, you might have only 2 million naira for at the moment to pay. And knowing that within 6 months, you can meet up with other fees, or within 1 year or whatever, based on your agreement with the company, you can meet up with other fees. So you can just pay the 2 million naira, have your allocation there for you, reserved for you. So whenever you want to start commencing building, because most times these things are like development living now, you cannot start building until you pay this money. This is where it comes in very well to show that we are serious here. When it comes to you owning your land, you can just pay the normal price and own your land first. Yes, you have your location. That's why we have our boards. If we trace this thing in our system now, you see that maybe the name of this person is Mr. John. Then Mr. John knows that this is where my land is. He knows. They have tickets for him and everything. All our boards have every allocation. Everybody has their name there. Even most of them, I think in phase 1, they have a kind of cemented something that their name was written on the land there. So this is where these things are important. Just pay the price for the land, you have your allocation. So when it now comes for you to start maybe building or something, the company will not start asking you, Gafa, our other fees, you need to pay it up so you can commence your development. For instance now, phase 1 now is fenced round. All those things that are going on, even the gatehouse, is from this money the company is using to do all those things. Those street lights is from those money. So you don't want to come and start building when we don't have security in place and start blaming us later. That's because you did not pay us for those other fees to help us put security and other stuff in place. The question, sir?
Yeah, so my worry is directly at the fact that if these fees are essential for the acquisition and the development of land, how has it become impossible or so difficult? Because I have looked at the flyers of various
Companies.
companies, have discovered that it's the same thing.
Yes.
Why can they not
Well, like
But most people see them as hidden fees.
yes, that is yes, that is where manipulation comes in.
And about the loss, I'll tell you something now.
Yes.
The person who myself is in now.
Mm.
You know, when I met the guy, and I told him that we are now presently doing promo,
Mm-hmm.
and that the lands are 2 million naira. I have no problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he has a knowledge about real estate.
Mm-hmm.
So he was asking me about the hidden charges.
Mm-hmm.
I told him that there were no hidden charges.
Okay.
They were genuine charges. So he said I should go and itemize them so that he can get a picture of what the land really costs.
Yes.
So when I came back, he discovered that the land in Enugu is 1 million naira.
Mm-hmm.
So we asked him, he said, why is the development fee so high? Now, if you include this all other,
Yes. It's like 3
it's almost more than half the price of the Google price.
Yes.
And the man had problems with that.
That's his problem. This one is yes, but
But it's even more of a problem.
yeah, but this
Hold on. What you say now, I mean, it's actually similar kind of
experience.
for that client. A few clients like that.
Yes.
So there has been a serious question on based on what you said.
He was very enthusiastic about the land.
Okay.
I was asking him my opinion where he should get land, whether at Asaba or Phillips.
Okay.
So I told him, I said, see, me myself, I have a plot of land in Asaba, and I would advise you, Asaba, for obvious reasons.
Okay.
You are from Anambra State,
Mm-hmm.
and presently Onitsha is almost like.
Asaba, yes. Please.
So most guys now in Onitsha get land from.
Asaba.
And they were trying to be confused. I said our CEO himself is now in the east.
Okay.
So I'll give you his address. When you get to the east, you can call him so that people can talk. And he was almost excited with that until he saw that
Other fees.
1 million naira. So I said, why?
So now, like I said, before the company comes to map out all these things, they have put things in place to check the actual price and the favorable outcome for it. We are not the one to decide that. As far as company has bring out the other fees there, so that's what it is. Except they go back to review it. Now, but in the aspect of bringing everything together, it's like a pattern. But what matters in this whole stuff is, as a company, as a consultant, is you being transparent. When somebody is saying, okay, 2 million naira, I tell them, but you know there's other fees, though. Look at the other fees. Look at the total package. Because we know where we're, like I explained earlier on, somebody might have just 2 million naira to pay in first for me to have my allocation of the land. I will still have money to continue other stuff. For instance, now it happens now. How do I used to explain it now? Just like normal house rent, you have to pay agent an agreement or other fees. Somebody can just deposit the rent first.
Yes.
And so you people take the rent. Let me go and bring my agent an agreement fee before I pack in. Same thing here. Because most times you go to just rent a small shop now, the rent is 300,000 naira. And then by the time you pay all that fees, you are getting up to 5 something or 600. So if they give you that money at 600, you might say, it's too much. People are different, though. Like someone like me, I will ask, what are the other fees? Let me know everything. Let me know how much is it. Let me know how I'm gathering it.
I explained these things to him.
Uh-huh.
You know what he said?
What?
He said, why he is looking for land is to start building immediately.
Then let him pay up,
We
man.
allow him to start building on the land without paying the
Yeah, no, he has to pay. Yes. So he has to pay.
Let me comment on that. It's not a problem. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, let me use Lagos as a case study. Even at Sabadia, I have a land there also, Adoration Estate. It's left for us to educate our clients. I live in estate in Lagos. A plot of land there is 15 million. You come and buy it. I will tell you, you will meet the community. There's other fee you will pay. Anybody that tells you it's a hidden charge, you don't want to, the person is hiding somewhere. You must contribute to the development of that area. In that area, I'm coming. If you pay that 50 million to the owner of the land, the estate there, he mentioned Greenfield for instance, you pay Greenfield 3 million naira there. That 3 million naira cover developments, interlocking, street lights. That is it. So you will not, if you put that 3 million on top of that 53 million, he'll be scared that that maybe the commission will not increase to the person that will buy the land. So tell him the flat rate for the land first. They tell bros, if you go down, have it at the back of your mind that you will pay more money there for that area. Period.
That's how it is. So it's a pattern.
And another thing we need to understand is very simple. Just like you mentioned Greenfield. We have a church in Greenfield. When we bought that land, okay, it was just 6 million. Now it looks like a beautiful land, but we spent 15 million to survey it. It was not part of the cost. Yes. And in Greenfield Estate, when we moved in there, we were paying 200,000 naira for the brokerage. Now it's 3 million. Why is it 3 million? Some people have paid the price. Somebody that got into Greenfield Estate today, he spent 3 million. How many cars did he wreck? We that got in there first, 2 years, we already spoiled 3 cars. 3 cars is gone because of the road. You understand? Somebody moved into Greenfield, everywhere is tired. Somewhere is interlocking. It comes at a cost.
Yeah, that is understandable.
So,
most people know about
what
that.
I try to do with my clients, is just to let them know that this is, because if you buy a plot from a real estate, 70% of the job is already done for you.
Yes.
What you have done, if to say you go to the family and buy land, has been taken care of for you, it's worthless. No? That's why I always advise my children, I say, first, if you're start with real estate. Because you're not ready for the trouble of the community or the family or the extended brother or the extended, you're not ready. Start here and begin to know the rudiments of the property. So that's just it for us. We need to do right and just expose it. The key thing there is that this land is 2 million. That 2 million gives you automatic access to that land. That's just it. So you knew that once you develop a property, we know that as you begin to develop the property, other demands come. Whether it's hidden or high, they must come. They must come.
The thing, would they allow you to start developing the land?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Because you can develop it now, tomorrow you are dragging with it, you are not paying again. So you know.
Sell the land again without paying.
Yes.
So pay it. If you sell it, the new person will pay again.
Yes. So that's why we have all those conditions here. We'll go through it. It's hard for you to see. So what matters is this: every company before they start, they'll give you their condition. If it's favorable to you, fine, proceed. If it's not, back off. Nobody is forcing you. Why to be a problem is when we not convince you without telling you what was involved. That's going to be a problem. So that's why we're trying to make everything plain. Maybe it's not favorable for that person, no problem. Another person can be favorable for him and say, I'll still proceed with the whole stuff. Most times, even companies face a lot of things. Companies will come, settle family, do documentation, settle community. They will still come back again and see people are doing building something, give us money. We are the one, it's you to come out, but the one guiding this whole community, give us money for security. Why companies have paid for those things before? So these are the things that affects this whole stuff. Yes, sir. Yes.
You mentioned there's something within the access road.
Yes.
What access road? Is it being tied or just?
Yes. No, it has to be tied.
Okay.
With time, as they're going on, it's tied.
Another thing is electricity stroke electrical pole.
Yes.
And again, street lamp and pole.
Yes.
What is the difference?
This one now is more of this high tension poles now that brings the light. This street lamp pole is every estate street has normal street light for the road. This one's now just the one that will bring in the light to buildings. Why this one is just for the street light? So there's a difference between both of them. Yes. Yes.
That word access road is not hard road. But it's access road.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hard road. So don't tell me hard road so that I will not go there and see someone. Let's be honest for ourselves.
Okay.
Access so that I can use my car, use my leg to my blood.
Okay. But you know that this is it.
Coming to this 1 million naira cannot give you that facility.
No, what he's saying is that subsequently, those roads will be tied.
Yes.
Don't use word subsequently. Say it's the money you paid. We take care of that very road project. So don't use word subsequently. So don't tell the boss access so that you can drive your motor, your material to your plot. Don't tell me, please.
Okay. I get him.
First phase.
Yes.
That has to be complete
Yes.
That's but when the land was completely on its own.
Yes, before.
Access road.
Yes. Yes, before. I got your point. I got your point.
If the money covered it,
But-
they said yes. So I have to bring it down. Let him not use that word. Because we are the sea.
Yeah, I understand. That's
This
very,
one
very.
cannot interlock
Because
right there.
when the time comes to tar the road, they'll still come together
Yes.
to bring in more money. I understand what you're going to. Like that phase one, the first time, not even the first time, when the phase one, I think we parked cars somewhere, we walked in. But now,
You can say access.
yes. But now you can drive in.
That language.
We are learning together. These are the things that matters most times.
Look at where they put electricity. They will say splash. Third or interlock.
Okay. Let's proceed then. We're making progress. So now number 2 is physical allocation of plots. Now it says, your plots will be allocated only when, now look at this word, full payment for the plot of land has been made. And 2, payment for deed of assignment, allocation fee, and survey plan is completed. Let's go back to review something now. Watch here. We have survey fee, we have development levy, and then deed of assignments, and plot allocation levy. So look at what this one is now saying now, is you have physical allocation of plots, physical allocation of plots. Remember, once you make deposit, even if it's installment payment plan, we'll give you this one. This is where you choose to start making payments. So when it now comes to, okay, this is your physical allocation, full payment for the plot of land must be made. Yes. And then payment for deed of assignment, allocation fee, and survey plan. You now have your physical allocation. This one now. No dragging. It's not there yet. Because you might want to take time. You understand? That's what matters. So these are the things. The thing is that once you have these documents and you are going through it, you just know that this is how I can explain to this person. Okay? Now, number 3 there is fencing of individual plots. At this stage, your plot fencing is expected to be commenced within 30 days after physical allocation of plots. When you have been given physical allocation of plots, you are expected to start commencing at least your individual fencing of your own plots. Okay? Now, number 4 there is construction.
Sorry, let's be realistic.
Okay?
You can't tell me that I'll buy a land, I'll fence it up, there is theory for me.
Yeah, I'm coming.
It cannot be possible.
Let me
The question is, what happens after the 30 days?
Yes, exactly.
Let's be silent. For instance, last 4 years ago, I bought a land at Asaba.
Yes.
So only this year, when they changed their family listing,
Uh.
they went and demolished the one first we built there. So when they confronted the Fred Ajuda and Co, he said their normal routine check. So you tell me now, over that 4 years, inside the bush, I'm going to fence it. It's not possible.
No, I'm coming.
That is the theory.
Yes. Now look at what happened. Look at what we said here. Remember, there is no strict rule. He said your plot is expected to commence.
Really?
It's expected. So it's not said must commence.
For the word weeding,
Now,
they spend that word.
I think, yes. So I think we'll go back to review that again. But from our experience so far, you must have seen that we don't have any issue with that one. You understand? There's no issue with that one.
Is still trying to do the perimeter fencing,
Exactly.
which did not commence on the 90 days.
I get your point. So there's no issue with that one at all. But it's just that we are trying to. This is one thing I love about Mr. Dixon. He told me something. He said, I don't want to be doing acquiring of land, estate here and there, without developments going on. He was mentioning some companies to me. They just acquire lands everywhere, it's still bushy. So it doesn't make any sense to him. He wants as little as we can acquire, we start developing immediately. This one makes real estate enjoyable and sweet. Not that you buy land 10 years, it's still there. No appreciation, nothing at all. It's just the. So it's too bad. It makes the whole stuff linger. It's too bad.
Some of the clients will go there, they will not even know
Exactly. They don't even know the allocation.
Maybe they have forgotten.
They have forgotten.
So that's why.
Something like that. They will say the one I saw that they don't even know where the land is.
Imagine.
They look, the place is people.
That's not good.
To buy
And start
and
with
start
the
with
That's not good. This is what the company does. You know, despite that we are waiting for clients to come and commence building, time to time, company goes there to clear the bush again, make everything leveled, still have all those things in place, all those maps in place, so that it won't look as though nothing is going on here. Everything is just keeping quiet. Mm-hmm. Yes.
When I saw it, now it's not late for me to go back to my client and say, don't be fear up here. Now we can talk about expressing your own problem.
Mm-hmm.
When I think that the local person is already interested.
Very, very. So this is very, very important. The phase one, yes. Phase one is going on. Phase two already have his own fencing since last 2 years. Yes. So all these things are, this company is trying to make sure that there's work going on. Just like the phase one is very, very amazing. The other time we were passing there, I saw plaza. I said, wait, in this place, plaza already. People are renting shops there. Phase one in Enugu. Plaza already. I said, plaza now. You know, on the road, why going to the estate? So people are just moving. So these things makes people be like, let's just move. Let's move over. But if you just ignore everything will just remain like that. So now the construction, this is number 4. It says building construction can commence only after the development levy is fully paid. Remember, like we said, you can't commence your construction of building until you pay the development levy. And the building plan approval has been approved by the state government appropriate authorities, if necessary, and being confirmed by CIPA Profile Limited. Because we also have our building department. We must make sure we confirm the plan to know what we are building, if it's favorable. So it don't be something that is disturbing other people or something that will collapse tomorrow. So they must approve the plan before you commence building. And then fencing pattern, the purchaser individual fencing pattern will be uniformed as provided by the company and must be see-through fence for security reasons. See-through fence, you understand what we're saying? Those design fence, not you go and build 7-story building as a fence. You don't know where you're going, you don't know what's going inside your compound. So it must be a see-through fence. So that's the whole clarity of everything when it comes to development levy. You have to pay the levy before you commence building. So if somebody wants to start building immediately, you have to pay up development levy. That's the conditions for that. Now, number 6 is corner piece plots. Corner piece plots attract additional 10% charges of the selling price. Commercial plots also attract additional 10% charges of the selling price. So we all know what's corner piece plot, right? I don't. So when it comes to, I'm not sure I know that very, very well. Okay, can we explain it? Corner piece plots from this board now, for instance, or should we use here? So corner piece plots should be. Am I right? All these plots. Okay.
No. See the one he pointed. The one he pointed is the corner.
Yes.
This one, all this, and
all this
at
additional.
the edge of that road.
Yes.
Each edge of that road is the corner piece. This. No. If there is a road here, the next plot here is a corner piece. But this is the road. So we will be dealing with this one, this one, and this one.
So now, because there's advantage there when you have a corner piece. Advantage, both road and other stuffs. So it attracts 10%. So if the land is selling for 2 million naira, that means you are paying extra 10% of 2 million naira, which is 200,000, right? Yeah. So that means that's when the client, so for instance now, your client might be saying, okay, I want the one on this side. Remember to tell them that, look at the terms and conditions before you sign. You are paying extra 10%. Everybody has their own choice, though. Everybody has their own choice. So some people might use it there and maybe do a front shop for something they want to sell or something. That's advantage.
The company can decide that when I pointed out here, The company can decide from here to here. It becomes a kind of a commercial
Area.
in the whole estate.
Yes.
So there's no way that price will be the same.
Just like when you build, for instance, now, although I've asked about that, and our company for now is not allowing that. For instance, now, most estates have a commercial area for hotels.
Yes.
So you can't tell me you want to do hotel business and pay me the same normal price for residential apartments. So that's one thing about advantage of that corner piece.
This is a private estate.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
You the owner want to make money. That's all this story. So this one is attractive to be like, don't that idea. It's because you
Okay.
want to make money out of me.
Because there's an advantage there.
You are living in your office is great.
Yes,
There are a lot of cannabis there.
sure.
Such this doesn't fall in there.
Maybe as of then.
No, up till now, till tomorrow, sir. This is a private business. That's why it's involved.
Well, no problem. I don't know. But everybody just have their own
So
policy.
that's the gospel truth. I'm just letting
Okay.
you know.
All right, so let's proceed now with installment payment. This is a very important aspect everybody needs to know to explain to your clients too. When you are on, I love the way we are deliberating on all these stuffs now. If anyone needs a review, company will go back and review it. Okay, just like the fencing one, about 30 days. We'll go back and review that one to make sure everything is proper. Brett, please. Okay. Okay. Now, installment payment. When your installment payment plan, after your initial payment, you are expected to pay the balance on monthly basis within the stipulated time frame you selected. Non-payment of the total as it at when due will be regarded as fundamental breach of an agreement and be treated as follows. The default on your monthly installments affects 5% penalty of your of your supposed monthly payments for the month defaulted. This grammar was explained by ourselves. B, when the default spans above of the installment plan you choose, it will attract 10% of the total outstanding payment. Let's go back to A. Let me understand it very well. The default on your monthly installments attracts 5% penalty of your supposed monthly payment for the month defaulted. Yes. Okay. Yes. So now B says when the default spans above the installment plan you choose, it will attract 10% of the total outstanding payment. Please, Mr. Bright, I need clarity here very, very well. This is a very important explanation for me now. But this grammar is blowing my head. It's clear. Can you explain it?
Yeah, it's saying that when you pay, when there's a delay more than the required the period. Yeah, you now pay. Yes.
Okay, that's for A now.
No, it's for B. If it's 12 months, I don't put it at 12 months.
And you are paying 10
There's extra money.
Okay.
total outstanding.
That's total outstanding.
Okay, total outstanding.
You were supposed to pay, you are paying 10,000 every month. Now, in a year, it will be 120.
Okay.
So if each month that you do not pay 10,000, it attracts 5%.
That's for E.
For each
For
month.
the month. Then the total, which is 120, which was supposed to take a year, if it exceeds that, you now pay 10%.
Correct.
No,
Yes.
Wait, let's say it's 1 year, which is 12 months.
Yes.
I'm able to pay for 10 months. I didn't miss it. But within that,
10 months.
12 months, something happened to that. Women are late. Now, it entered for 8 months. Is it the 2 months that I'm supposed to pay a certain percent, or for the whole of the
2 months.
Once you are
Once you are paying,
Once you are
outstanding.
it's the outstanding. Whatever that is outstanding. You know you are supposed to pay 5%.
Yes.
Now you are defaulted by 2 months or 3 months.
Okay.
You won't pay now 5%. You pay 10%.
If Bumsin attracts 10%, yes.
That's the 10%.
What's the difference?
The outstanding one attracts 10%.
Okay.
Whatever is the balance now you paying 500. No way.
Oh, okay.
You have existed in time. That is this. What the period? You have entered 16 months. So you are paying 30%. It will make you ginger up and.
Now, let's go to C. I think I've understood that one now. When the default span for a period of 3 months after the expiration of the period of your selected payment plan, or where the payment on record at the expiration of the 3 months is less than an amount equivalent to 60% of the property price, the company shall be entitled to revoke the sales and make a refund, deducting 30% administrative charges.
This is very simple.
Okay.
Success.
Okay, yes. Okay.
You know, at times when you default,
Uh-huh.
you're not paying.
Mm-hmm.
The thing will begin to compound.
Yes.
Before you know it, what is even compounding will pass the initial agreement of what you want to pay.
Yes. And most times when the price appreciates, the
So
price of the
this-
land.
The price will definitely appreciate.
Yes.
So that's why the company will say, we'll buy you to give you this. But
Yeah.
you know the day is zero. You know the thing.
Because these things happens quickly. For instance, let's say you are selling promo price of 2 million naira now, and you're on an installment payment plan, and then you didn't finish up. You didn't have, a seed. Land entered 3.5.
For me, I would advise,
Okay.
if you are talking to your client, tell him or her to pay abstract. If he say no, you put this page for him or her to read very well before going into it.
Very true.
Maybe that is why it's good to read the terms and conditions.
Before you proceed.
No, he or she might not read it. But when he comes, I want to open this, only this please read it very well.
So that means, it means you as a consultant, before your client is telling you, let me make payments, you yourself go and check all these things again to make sure you explain it to him to understand. Just like imagine what the story.
To bank to borrow money. This is
Stops.
they will give you there too.
Exactly.
You even have a prayer warrior so that you will not pay.
Very true.
They do it.
Very true.
So they will take over your collateral.
Very true. Just like the story I shared now about a particular realtor, I was saying it initially before I started. She just told her client, just pay for the land, and with time, take your time and pay other fees. And the client applied, paid for the land, and was taking his time to be paying for other fees. Now, not knowing that when the client not came for allocation, the company was telling the client, you are out of contract. That kind of grammar. And the company said, you have 90 days to finish up every other payment you are making. Now, both the realtor and the client was not aware of that policy, and it was on the T&C of the policy of the company. So you can imagine that kind of problem. So that's why we brought up this thing.
And that person is out of that this you have
Because company was saying we have it on our terms and conditions. She was saying, I didn't see it. He said it's there.
Or did he or she sign it?
They must have done.
Why it's better to read before you sign it.
They must have signed. So this is why we said, okay, let's review our policy again, because we have all these things.
Some are
Yes.
criminal mandate.
That's why I keep saying that. I get that illustration about both of us can have an agreement, with our mouth and say, okay, I'll give you 50%, and then I'll go to the paper and say it's 30% I'll give you. If you rely on what I told you when I was reading the documents, I did not check it again to know if I've changed it, and you signed. That's it. Because I can tell you.
Pray that he's not a bad guy. Have you got him for
Well, it depends. I must still be a bad guy too.
Pray that he will not be a baddest guy.
I can still be a bad guy too. This is how business runs. Because as far as you don't have any recording showing that I said it's 50% I'll pay you. When I bring that document and I put 30% and you sign without going through it, that's it.
Yes. So you wait for your own return.
So that's what I'm saying. It's very good. It's very good. No, I can't do that personally.
I'm not talking to you.
Yes.
You're just
Yes. So that's why it's very good for we to review all these things, because we have them on our website, we have them as a video format, we have them as a PDF, but most times we don't still go through it. So let's talk about it together now. And so it will be a very important, issue for us. Let's proceed. I think we are done with it. So now, note, our monthly installment is being calculated based on the month of your initial payment, not the date of your initial payment. Month, not the date, okay? The date of the payment notwithstanding. On the month, not on the date. So you can't tell me I paid on the 25th of this month, so you wait for me on the 25th of next month. So it's not on the date, it's on the month, because you see, company needs to be very, very careful. People can be manipulative. People can come with different forms of problem just to get their own advantage. That's why policy always make sure, company always make sure they put all these policies in place. Let's proceed. Now, D, if you cannot complete your payment, a refund can be made. However, any refund will be made on the following conditions. Let's look at it. Now, number one is early notification to the company of your inability to continue the payment. Refund will be made less 30% administrative charges. The company will be allowed a 3-month period to process the payment. The refund will be made immediately after such plot has been resold. These conditions.
Can I explain something?
Yes, sir.
You see that number 2?
Yes.
That refund will be made less 20%.
Yes.
You know, at times, you see us even fighting the management.
Mm-hmm.
You must inform my client their full payment.
Mm-hmm.
You have forgotten your commission.
Very true.
And if you check everything, every estate applies 23%, some do 27%. Commission.
Yes.
So you see that the company is just getting maybe less 5%.
Yes.
And they can't go and tell the person who bought, I gave commission
To this person.
to this person.
It's not a business.
So you understand from there. So that is why they say let's study. But I have seen people like me argue. No, you must remember this one, this one. No, it doesn't follow that one about the commission.
Yes.
So
Understand?
that is why you see at times they say it's too big. It's supposed to be 10%. No, it's not supposed to be 10%.
Yes. Now, let me explain this number 3. So the company will be allowed a 3-month period to process the payments. One thing I know about our MD here is he's a very calculative, careful man in applying policies to the company. Now, you see, like I said, people they disturb a lot. Now, one thing people have learned to do is to take advantage of companies like this for their own personal business. Now, Mr. Disney explained that most times you don't know if somebody that is telling they want to buy land, they want to make payment, this and that, if they are kidnappers. Because they can come up and use the company's account as collateral for their money. Now, what most of them do is that they will pay you money to the company account that they want to buy land. And later come back and say, no, we don't want the land, they can just refund us our money back. At that point, the company has been used unknowingly to collect money as a ransom for ransom. They will now come back and take their money. So when police is not tracing the old stuff, they'll come to the company and say, you people collected money for ransom. Well, I don't start from there. Now, that is why a particular amount of money, whenever it drops in this company account, EFCC is notified that such money entered the account. They are aware, because the company registered under them too, showing that we are doing pure business. We don't know anything about any crime here. Look at what is going on. So once the EFCC is aware of that such amount of money, if there's any issue at all, there's bringing them to trace that money back to the company. They'll be aware that this company has already applied that there's a report of this amount of money here. So they don't have anything to do with it. If it's a crime or money laundering or whatever, then they don't have any hands in it. Now,
You mean company willingly will go to EFCC?
no, no.
EFCC
EFCC is already aware because company has a registration with them too against crime, money laundering or whatever. Now what I'm saying is this, something happened in Enugu while I was there last month. They were explaining something. A particular client made a payment and then the woman came back and said she wants a refund. And company said, okay, no problem. Look at our policy that you signed, our terms and conditions that you signed. You notify us early to give you your money back. And then we remove 30% from the money. And also, you give us 3 months to process the payment. And then the refund will be made once the plot is sold. Because you might be buying that plot when somebody else wants to buy the same land too, and you bought it for the person, and so the person goes somewhere else to buy. That means left the plot for us there to handle. So now, what the company says 3 months is that in case your money is a bad money, within 3 months, we'll be notified that something happened with your money. So now trace everything. So it will not be used as a scapegoat. We'll give you your money, run away, then I'll come and hold us. The thing happened, the woman took it serious, was trying to, even out of corny way, they arrested the manager in Enugu. They told him they want to buy land. The manager came, they arrested him and said, okay, people refuse to refund the woman her money back. And then company bought their own terms and conditions and showed it to the police, and they released him. And the woman has been in, the old problem. Yes. The plot is well. Mm-hmm.
If, for instance, now, Enugu is 2 million, and they posted 1.5, unable to pay the remaining 500,000. And then Sonny came up, I need to tell them what that is. And I requested, did all the upper trade conditions.
Mm-hmm.
My question is there now. I made this payment, let's say, 6 months ago. And you want to refund after you have sold the land. Maybe it might take you 6 months again, a year to sell it. And they have bought it 2 million. By the time you will sell it, the land must have gotten to 6 million or thereabouts. And you refund 1.5. I'm looking at God's angle, not we.
Leave.
Well, let me come.
Okay.
That clause has some hidden attitude in it.
Okay.
If I will advise to remove that word sold,
Okay.
you will get your land, give them 1.5 and go and sell it 4 million. Instead of putting that word.
I understand.
It will take you long time. Maybe that's a agency that prompted that we will not be taken care of again.
Okay.
That's where I'm coming.
I understand. Okay, Mr. Bell, take note of that this word.
No.
I'm coming. It's not as if you are removing it, but I'll still explain something to him.
Moral,
Just
not, immoral.
Just him taking note of that word, so I will still report it. Now, but look at when you talk about God's anger, I wanted to say leave.
God's angle.
Okay, God's angle.
Yes,
God's angle.
Leave.
God's angle.
Leave.
I have a property. And so
Yes.
came up. I have to sell it then and maybe go and solve the matter.
Leave that one for God, though.
No.
If you are saying urgency,
Yes.
Okay.
so let's assume there's an urgency.
Okay.
How would that money be refunded?
That's what I mean.
Please, do you know that this 3 months, the road there doesn't apply? It doesn't apply. Your money can be used once you have reached an agreement and written formally. The company will be watching you. Your attitude, like in the case of any woman,
Yes.
you will see that one is purely fraud. Even the person who paid into the company's account, he has no name.
Imagine.
My advice to the company was, when you raise fund, your check, write it on that name that transferred your money. It does not name. Yes, or you go to police, until police tells you, write on so police will write it and they will sign it for you. By the time you meet up those 3 things, you are agreeing. No company will want to wait for.
Don't say no company, say you are company.
No,
It's no company.
Okay, good.
Be honest.
Okay.
It's no, we don't know about other
Okay, I think Vatican here will not wait for 3 months. Because
fund it.
one thing, you have agreed, and it is based on what you reported before that they are paying you.
Of course.
So even if we are selling for 10 million,
It's not a business.
they are not advantage. So they will pay you before that.
Immediately. Now, make an example. Take my question. Because
Out of what you just learning.
Mhm.
Now, if from what they are saying, I discovered that I am able to control the payment,
Mhm.
and I have somebody who want to buy it, what will be the attitude of the company? Can I sell it directly, or the company will want to sell it to me?
We'll get to that place, I think. Yes, we have it here. We'll get to that place.
Okay.
Let me not go fast forward to that. Well, let's proceed. Now, Brother Mr. Khan was saying something. Naturally, these terms and conditions, most of the times, let me use the word, just to make sure we have something in place as formalities. companies also observe clients. So, for instance, now, let me give you an instance now. If, yesterday I was talking about customer service to a particular company, customer service. If I know you, let's say I'm a company, I know you are my client, you have bought from me before from so place, and you came again to buy here. Now, company already understand that some things are going on if you can't meet up with the payment or something. Do you know that an individual can come and say, company, please don't put all your policy on me. Look at when I want to pay you back. The MD might decide and say, no problem, no additional charges for you, just pay your normal price. Everybody has their own condition available to them. Yeah, exactly. Yes. You see, most times people can still come back and deliberate and say, please, let's consider this and consider this. It's not as if you must really stick, because sometimes the situation might be different. But these things are very, very important because of other people that might want to bring headache. You understand? So that's why all those ones can come in. Now look at the roofing, number 8. The estate layers is in block sections with different roofing colors to be allocated to each block respectively. You are permitted to put your choice of building design, but your roofing color will conform to the specified color for the block you belong to. When it comes to roofing, the color will be like, just that one is clear and simple. Now, reselling, like you asked, it says you can only resell your plot only when you have paid up your survey fee, deed of assignment fee, and allocation fee for your plot, except the development levy. However, consent must be sought in form and granted by the Super Profile Limited, and such consent will not be withheld by the company. So it means you must pay all these other fees, survey, an assignment, allocation fee, but because you're not bidding yet, except this one.
It's advantage to the company.
Sure. Because maybe people, it's not as if you are buying to resell initially.
Yes.
That is if it's not your plan.
No, it might not be an advantage because if I bring somebody and probably I had bought a plot around 1.5,
Okay.
and I will just pay probably 0.5, and I bring somebody who says you want to pay 3 million. The 3 million, part of the money goes to
You don't understand why that 1 million naira, you that one will still pay it again.
Yes.
The new person. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Look at number 10. Number 10. Number 10 says reselling your plot. Reselling your plot can be done either by direct selling, which is you, or by the company on your behalf, because the company must still sell on your behalf, not by themselves. Now look at this. Let's put it. I think I have other ones here. Now. Okay.
Life will only last 2 minutes, 2 days, 2 months. So now your brother will wait for you. I think I come in.
Now look at this. The process of resale is as follows. Number 1, in whatever circumstances of sale, you officially write to the company notifying company of your intention to resell, indicating direct selling or company sales. Meaning you can say, company, you people should sell this land for me. Now, the company reserves the right to be the first bidder and is ever ready to buy back your plot at the current price. You bought at 2 million naira promo price and now it's 5 million naira. The company can still buy it at that current price. Now, any notice which does not conform to the above prescribed mode of communication shall be regarded as null and void. Here it says, upon resale, the client, which is you as a seller, must deliver all original copies of the documents issued to him by the company to enable the change of documentation for the new buyer. Next one is amendment. The real estate industry is a dynamic one, hence change is inevitable. However, Super Profile Limited will try to maintain the stability of variables within its control. When there is any change, amendment, or modifications, it shall be communicated to subscribers. Such communication shall be via letters, emails, short messages, SMS, handbill, poster, and any other means of communication. Correspondence shall be deemed to have been received by the client, having been sent to the subscriber's last given address. Now, direct selling. For selling directly, all financial obligations to the company, payments for land and documentation fees, except development levy, must be settled. You must pay all those other fees apart from this one if I talk about selling. The cost of the transaction is borne between parties to the transaction, with why the company charges only the new owner registration fee of 5%. If you're selling a land now, the new buyer, the company will charge them 5% for the registration fee of the current market value of the property. And the new owner makes payment for the change of documentation. These are these things. Where there are outstanding payment to be made, apart from the development levy, the client has no allocated plots. Remember the first thing I read before? I said, before they give you physical allocation, you must pay deed of assignment, allocation fee, and survey fee to have physical allocation. So when you don't make all those payments, you don't have any allocated plots. So you cannot even talk about selling again. So no title, document, and any right of ownership, therefore, cannot resell any plot in the estate. You've made payment for your price, or part of the maybe you made payment of 2 million naira. As far as you have not made all those deed of assignment, allocation fee, survey plan, I mean, you don't have any physical allocation yet. So what happens is that if you want to collect your money, they deduct 30% of that same money you have paid. Or you just finish up the other fees, pay it up, and then continue to sell. Well, all these things are just simple. Most times, look at this, it's difficult. Now, if you don't even have another money to pay up, you can tell company, okay, you sell the land, deduct, I don't know if it's applicable like that too, deduct those other fees, why pay me my money? It's understandable. Yes, but the market value.
Having personal understanding now, not the company as a non-living thing.
Very true. So now let's proceed. No, that, you can have direct selling. You can have that selling, you can't come to sell for you. Anyone you want. But like we said, the company has the right to be the first bidder. You can buy it from you too. 13, land banking. Note that land banking is not allowed in Vatican Garden Estates. The different. Like I was asking that same question. What do you mean? Now I came to understand that. In land banking, you can decide to hold your land. You say, no concern me. Let me leave it there for 20 years. While other people are developing and living your own there. But like in Greenfield, I'm looking at a particular land. I'm wondering, what's the name of this land doing? You don't want to sell this land. You don't want to do anything. It's just there. Every other place is developing. Before they're telling you it's 100 million naira, you will pay. Davido bought a land of 2.5 billion naira in Banana Island because that land has been there. Holding. The person must have been banking the land to have more value. So here, we give only 3 years for you to start developing your land. So there's no value. You can't say, I'll leave it here for 10 years, 20 years. No. You're making our estate look bushy. We don't want that here. We want development going on. So no land banking in that form in the estates. So everything about reselling is within those 3 years process. Because the company said, yes, look at it. Individual development timeline. Individual plot development timeline is maximum of 3 years. Every client is expected to start development of his plot between the times of purchase to 3 years or resell the plot. So if you want to still do land banking, it's within 3 years. If you don't want to build, that means within 3 years you can still sell. And trust me, you are still making profit. Because the land must appreciate within 3 years. From my experience with Enugu phase 1, massive. Now, company development time frame. The company's development timeline for infrastructure within the estate is between 6 months to 2 years. Trust me, this one is even too much. Within some months, before you know it now, the phase 2 of Enugu, there will be fencing projects commencing. Because we don't want to waste time with that too. Because the more we are developing, the more land is appreciated. The more we are making more profits. So we keep developing. Now, 16, mode of payment. All cash or transfer payments should be made to the company at the designated bank. Otherwise, checks should be issued in favor of Super Profile Limited at any other account that may be officially provided by the company in the future. We shall not accept any responsibility or any liability that may arise as a result of deviation from the above condition. We strongly advise you against doing cash transaction with any of our realtors, agents, or staff. No cash. Just pay to the company's account. Don't come and tell us you gave it to the realtor, you gave him cash to come and pay to us. We are not aware of that. And then 17, withdrawal stroke termination. Should the purchaser wish to withdraw from this contract or terminate the transaction and agreement at any point in time, he or she shall communicate same in writing to the company and give the company a 90 days notice of his or her intention to withdraw or terminate. Such withdrawal or termination will attract an administrative charge and deduction of 30% of the consideration of the land. Any amount you pay for the land, like if it's $2 million, company takes 30% deduction charge for it. Notice. Any notice required to be given here on that shall be in writing and may be hand delivered, sent by courier service, registered email, and blah blah to the address. Everything there must be communication. Whatever you're doing, both in writing and emails. No, I think I'm done with my assignment for today when it comes to the company's terms and conditions investing in Vatican Garden Estates. The policies. Now, let me add up another one I heard the MD talking about. The MD said, for instance, most clients who are in diaspora might make payments and then they are sending somebody to go and pick up the documentations, maybe a brother, sister, or anybody. Now, the company said the client must write to the company stating the name of the person, their passport, who is coming to pick up that documentation. I said, whenever a client, let's say for instance, a client might be in Lagos or diaspora anywhere, purchase the land. Anybody they are sending to come and pick up their documents, they must write to the company the name of the person, everything about the person, so the company will be aware as so person is coming to pick up the document. So we don't have issues where a brother will come up and pick up document and they start fighting against over it and all that. So things must be. Yeah, we'll put it. I think this one is a new one I had recently. But even before then, all these things will be communicated ahead of time. So my assignment for today is done. We'll be talking about now the consultant's operational policy for the consultants. I mentioned earlier on what happened when some people were complaining on the WhatsApp group that they refused to pay them commission. And that was because one of our consultants refused to abide by our rules while doing manipulation. And that is not good. Let me give you an instance. Some people want to manipulate everything to their own selves. You come up now, recruit a downline, and then the downline is about to make sales. When he's filling the form for his payment, he will put his family member, his brother or father or sister as an upline. So the companies will assume that person is the upline and pay money into their account and into your account. Then you will now go to that person's account and take your own share. Now, the person, you that bought the person, you're not asking, my downline made a sale, where is my commission? Company will not be like, you have paid the upline. So those issues, try to avoid them by our policy. So let's make welcome our admin manager, Mr. Bright, as he takes us to the Realtors operational policy. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Mr. MJ. All right, so we're going to be reviewing consultant operational policy. Now, the CPLAT consultant operational policy has been carefully drafted to state clearly all regulations governing the operations of consultants in our company. We have to state this because if you are bringing anyone into our system, we have to have educated them on how we operate. So that is why we are also involved in this. The policies hereby states, 1, no consultant should misrepresent the company or misinform his or her clients. If you are not sure of any information, please ask on the official group chat or call the company's front desk. This is very, very important because it can be misleading to misinform a client, and then the client gets here and then feels disappointed of what he's hearing. It can be a turn-off, and that deal may not be closed. So that's why we must ensure that if you're not sure of anything, you give a call. This is the number of our front desk. Now it says, no loading, no shortfall, no addition or subtraction must be done on our prices. Consultants must sell at company's price. No addition. This is very, very simple. No addition. Sell exactly what the company is giving. It's as simple as that. The third one. Now, Mr. M. Jari spoken of this. Caution. No loading. That is... Okay. Okay. Yes, sir. Mm. Okay, as loading. Okay, that is also still very, you can also refer to that also. Mm-hmm. Yes. Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. It's just a reminder. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. So we should take note of this, please. Now, the third one, Mr. MD spoke on this. Caution on cash collection. No one should collect cash. This is very, very simple and very important. Now, the fourth one says, if your client decides to make transaction via checks, ensure that checks are being written in favor of CPLAT Profile Limited. Now, let me make a very, very quick note that before any client makes payments, they have to fill our subscription form. And that is why we have made updates on our form that it also includes the terms and conditions so that the client can go through it and know what he's getting into. Because we had a situation whereby a person's client paid money into the account without filling the form. It happened, and it caused a lot of problems. And the person now asking for a refund. And so we're wondering, you didn't fill the form. So how do you want to get a refund? Because some of them might see the 30% subtraction, and they might not be okay with it, and they'll still be expecting full. So it's very important. They must fill the subscription form before making payments. It's very, very key. Now, number 5. Checks or transfers should be paid into CPLAT designated accounts. This is also very key. It's on our flyers. So once you speak to any client and is interested, the account number is on the flyer, make payment, and smooth as that. Number 6, I'm sure we all know this. No consultant should conduct him or herself dishonestly. Yeah. Okay.
You said once check and checks and transfers.
Yes.
People said once you said the accounts.
Yes, it's on the flyer. Yes. 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 No, we have to fill the form. You have to fill the form. You have to fill the form. Yes, on the flyer. What's the thing is on the flyer? If they want to just make payments, just show it to them. Mm-hmm. Yes. But somebody did it. So we should try and avoid that. So do not conduct yourself dishonestly. This is very key. Our core value is integrity. Integrity. So as much as possible, let's try to uphold that in whatever we are doing. Very, very key. Now, number 7 says, manipulation of consultant commission is a big offense and not allowed in our organization. This is also very, very key. Yes. Now, everyone has a stipulated commission, every single consultant. Now, when you go about manipulating, the manipulation now is you deciding to either increase, like he has already spoken about how somebody registered his spouse under himself. That is still part of manipulation. So that is just it. That's just it. The manipulation there is you not following the procedure. That is the manipulation basically. All right, sir? Yes. No, we don't allow it, yes. Yes. Yes, I won. That's just it. Well. Okay, sir.
I got here to because of the first coaches. Now I don't have offline.
Okay.
So I don't have just whatever that
Okay.
location is not necessary.
Yes,
You
sir.
just have to take care of that.
Yes, sir.
But in a case whereby I can't bring, I'm trying to explain something to you. Your wife cannot be on that line with children. The family is one.
It's one. Yes, that's how it works.
But they can market and have their own commission
They
pay
can
to them. So what it means is that if you make a sale, they cannot be a downline and receiving, I mean, your upline and receiving commission again.
Mm-hmm.
But they can make their own sale and they'll still pay them direct commission.
Mm-hmm.
Because what happens in the company is that when I recruit you as my downline and you make a sale as my downline, the company pays you your commission and still pays me because I'm your upline, that I'm the one that brought you. So they still pay me for you making a sale.
Mm-hmm.
So what it means is that let's say both of us are brothers and sisters in the same family. I can't recruit you as my darling, but I can bring you to the company and show you the business where to start your own business as a consultant. So when we make this, they just pay you. They don't pay me because they believe both of us are one. And we don't have this our partner of plating or paying somebody on that mutual and receive money. That's what it means.
Thank you very much.
If you bring your spouse or family friend to come in there,
Yeah.
because of wisdom, for instance, where will company place
Company will place them under the company. Or look for somebody.
or better still, company to let them be alone, collecting the commission.
No, see,
Yeah, my point.
commission.
No, let's be realistic and honest.
Yes, now you can't put them
Let
under
him be collecting commission, will tell you under anybody.
See, look at
Because
this.
I know where you're going, I know where you're landing, I know where you're still going.
It's good for
So
company to
if-
be eating their
If you
commission
don't want
instead of
to
another
yes,
person eating it.
let him know.
That's what I'm saying.
What I should be, we are discussing, we are not compelling you.
Sure, sir.
What we should know and do is that I bring my wife to be working with me, and company say there's no way she will be under me. I think to be on the self plan.
Company will just.
No, company has no business here. That's what I'm trying to say. Let she collect her commission. And let her be a neutral person. That land to not go, or any upline to not be involved.
That's what we
Yes.
No, you say company will be collective, which I'm
So
actually.
how
No,
much,
what
how
it
much
means
would
by
that
that
be the commission? What is the total commission now?
Citizen commission.
But that 3% or 5% should not go to any.
Yes.
I'm talking to the manager. What do you want? Question is going to.
Okay, let me ask you. Let's assume you brought a friend in.
You okay?
Both have been a friend,
Mm-hmm.
but they have been collecting commission
Yes.
for 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, something happened on the way.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they now united, become
Okay.
So, would that commission be continued, or will it be right away?
Well, that's a good question.
Let us all prompted one made it to say family should not be that line. Something must have happened.
That's what I explained.
One house, please. One house.
You know, this particular issue, remember, I've been on it. Say, for example, I am the upline. I register my wife, I register my son, register my daughter, I register my son. Now, I can quickly, if I have a plan that is serious, I can use my last child as the one that is set. You understand what I'm saying? I can relatively say it is the last one that registers as the
I want to that word manipulate.
No, we have discussed it.
You're a businessman, and you that have become a businessman.
Mhm.
That word manipulate.
Also, this is his own question is very, very important. This question just asked is very, very important. Mm.
What are you manipulating, brother? Do business, you're a businessman, don't you manipulate? No, it's somebody.
No, sir. He just we are still answering the question. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, to make sure that every other commission that comes down that comes to the money, if I am the one that sells good, they may not get anything as much.
Mm.
But if I take the last one and push him off as one that sells, everything goes down.
Sure. Yes, sir.
We argue this, we are four. I am the one that sells. But if I'm the one that do the outright sell, the 50 get 50. But if I take the last one
against
Okay,
family.
we'll go and explain to us.
See, it's not as if the company is against family getting the home money. No, that's not the company's target. Now, the problem is this. Me, as a realtor, I'm so committed. I know one of our realtors here, Mr. Prince, that man is not really concerned about making sales. Sales like by yourself. He's not concerned about recruiting downlines. That is one more business area. So let's say, for instance, as a realtor, okay, let's say him now as a realtor is bringing downlines to market and to sell. No, that downline is recruiting. Is not about to make a sale. Remember, he's the upline.
Yeah.
So meaning, if he makes a sale, the company pays him for the upline and pays the downline too. No, but that downline using his own wisdom to say, no, I don't want them to pay my upline. Let me put my own upline. Let me put my father or my brother as an upline. The father is not even in the real estate business, he's just in the village, relaxing. We're not going to say, Papa, 1 million will enter your account is from me. Once you enter, I'll come and withdraw it. The man will say, no, but you have just 50K, take care of it. It's not his business. Now, the company now assumes the father, not knowing the person, because it's different in different accounts. Companies now assume that that's your upline. Now pays the person the money. Because company will not be calling, hello, are you the upline? They don't have that time. Okay? Company now pays the person the upline fee, pays the rent to the commission. And Mr. Prince will now come and be saying, I had my downline made sense, where's my own money? My company already paid that payment.
So, if such a thing happens, company is involved. Be very responsible.
How?
Company, wait. I can't come to your sister and change the upline automatically.
It's true.
Company is involved.
Yes, let me still explain it how it
It's in the
happens.
system.
This is
Now,
terms and conditions.
yes,
Provided by the company.
let me still explain how it
No,
happens.
we are learning, we are discussing.
No, let me tell you, when it comes to already starting consultants, like people who have their details, it's due already. But now remember that we don't really restrict people from applying as new consultants immediately.
Yeah.
Because a new person can be the next line to make sale immediately. For instance, let me tell you what I mean by that now. A new realtor wants to make sale maybe for another company. It doesn't know Simple Limited before. He just came in, he knows the business. And he knows that I need to register before they bring my commission. So that is station point. Because say he's coming already. So at that point he can manipulate things.
It's a very simple question.
I get what you're saying.
I do with the company is this. All these things that say is correct. I'm going to buy shares.
Okay.
I took a bank manager to buy shares. Through somebody else. The three of us were there. She wanted to make payments. All of a sudden she changed and said she wants to take 3%. Inside the office. That shall give that money. And what it means is that if I allow her to do, she won't buy from that property. The Russia now told them to excuse us. They left, the two of them. Manager called our own manager. The woman said, no, you will sell your property. Forget about it. So give me funds. She gave me from my plate to me. You know the other one, I have registered him already before. So now did the administration. And that property was on promo. They paid her a commission and paid the other guy. Nothing came to me. We now, all of us left the office. The following day, Russia has paid 400,000 to my account. And it was a Thursday or weekend, so on Monday I went back to the office. I said, but what happened? You know, they didn't say, no, they said she didn't know anything. That thing I did that day surprised her. She never knew people could behave that way. What the woman did, I said, that is, you know, it can come suddenly like that, but where I disagree with company at times is this. For me, I bring in my family members. My wife works with NGA. You know, her online of clients are different. So when she makes money, we say because our family are fed, we won't pay me. You see the question mark? So at times you look into it.
There's no morality there.
There are so, no matter whatever you want to do, you say you want let it be upright. It's not possible. Somebody will be somewhere trying to manipulate. So there are people that you who do this. I know so many of them. This even their itself, the one who has died, they will make, it's not fair. But you know, it depends on the individual. But you can't transfer that to me, that is making genuine. My wife is working separately with me. I cannot do anything now. My wife will say, I want to register this lady now. My wife said, come and register that. She dare not tell me that. That is not me. But you do your own. The person you want to register your own. Yeah, register my own. Yeah, you know, do. But the thing is that there is a synergy. You have something. So, but I don't know how the company will
But I think what we do now, based on the company, is that you need to apply a very strict principle.
I have my face.
We don't really care about your sex at that point.
Mm-hmm.
We care about your phone, the registration.
Yes.
Because before you even make the sex, who is your upline?
Yeah.
Once it's stamped here, no manipulation at all.
Exactly.
Okay,
That's
because
what I'm about.
when the problem comes in is that quick point of making that sense. You can try to do everything at that point to put everybody. So, but it is that once you have your file, anybody is your upline. If it's 5 years ago, the men is your upline.
Because it has to be in a data.
Yes.
Of course, we have it in our database.
The Bible says where there's much law, sin do what? Increases. You are making bread to walk faster than you. He will come and change that name to another name. Still family line name. So let us be
So I think it's not really about work on that in our own aspect.
And then you will shoot the company. If I intend to do such, for instance, I have an item to drink, and these people are hot, they can work and bring customers. I will tell you, go to hell with you and go.
Yes. So
You will remain with your two people, you will run here around every day.
So if you
This MLS
Sure.
business, this
So
network.
I was listening to okay.
Everything has to be in a data.
If
If you don't, if the company doesn't have a data,
I will remain like this.
No, we do have a database. We have a database.
data for all
It's my sweat.
We do.
everyone that is connected to this business.
We do.
Even if it's 1 year, 2 years, the system will still
So
be
I think
Of course, we do.
the problem now is not just about recruiting your family or your brother or sister. What matters is at that point of registration.
Yes.
You have that
Period.
database.
That's when it happens outside that time.
So that should be the main focus.
Mm-hmm.
But I noticed that something else I noticed, which I also want to sure you are all of that set. I know that you guys pay commission on this, which is also good. But at that point, I would have wanted that is where the company will just and do a little research.
Okay.
Pause. The sales is done. I'm not expecting my money. There's nothing wrong with I finished with the client today and I got today is Friday and I get my Wednesday. I would have given you 2-3 days to go through and get things back. Probably call this person and call that person. No, Mr. James, yes, sir. Yes, you're about to receive a payment. So yes, it's Mr. So and so you're upline. Hear from me. There's nothing wrong with that. You
Yes.
understand?
Mm.
Yeah,
True.
from me.
True.
My family and my family.
Mm-hmm.
About downline, all these things should be just.
Of course. Of course.
No matter how many years it is, it's still have been one. But my bottom who is my upliner, let your system remind you.
Because when these things matter is this, your upline might be busy, working, doing so many things to also make a sale, struggling, pushing things forward. Why the person you are trying to manipulate as an upline is just relaxing one place?
Leave that theory. Nobody nothing is perfect.
That's the only reason why we're starting to have list of his. Well, you have
You have his list.
All of
He's
us
there.
You have your children. Are you not working for your children? You are working for them. Everything we are doing here is for them.
Yes.
So when you do things, listen very well before you put it out there.
Sure, sir.
When you put, you know that there are people that are wiser than you. You will just remain there as a moral.
That's why.
Oh, let's be
That's
realistic.
why when you travel to outside Nigeria, you see a different life that you don't understand. White people, the way they do things is absolutely different from us.
Yes.
You see, when you enter into their land, if you have been living there before, they have every of the information. Whether you are out or you are in, they have the information. And when, yes, no matter how many years you stay outside and return back, your information is still with them. So once they open their system, they saw your data, they will know when you go out and when you return, they will know every down about you. So that is why it's very important and it's necessary to have that everything, each and everyone is doing the company.
Sure, sir. If it's that, we have a database of all our consultants. We do have that. Yes. All right. So number 8 is any consultant or group of consultants who are conspiring to impersonate client ownership on sales in order to manipulate consultant commission will face a penalty. Yes, actually, it hasn't been answered. Actually, he hasn't been answered, but he said, if me and you come to this company as friends, and then eventually we get married, how is it going to be? You get married.
Money to the company, register them. This company are helping. If the company finish for phase 2, because you bring guys to buy, you go another one. Don't shoot yourself on your leg with your unnecessary policy.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. All right. This one is very important. Encourage clients to strictly adhere to payment plans. This is very important because we know the penalties. So encourage clients to strictly adhere to payment plans. This is also very important. Now, next one says,
For us here, please, let's
okay.
address that.
Okay.
Because we are here, and it's, we all want to. From what we have discussed this morning,
Okay.
I think it's important to encourage our clients to pay outright. If you get a client that's not ready to pay outright, and try a more that you pay one, it's better for you that the client has paid outright. You have a bad slip, he too will go over slip. Because if a plot of land is 2 million and your client has 1.5, you are not saying yes, not saying. So what you do, you encourage him by the side. See how we can make that money 2 million, then you come in and make that so that it can be easier for him, easier for you. Because this every month installment payment, there is no guarantee in this present Nigeria.
And person finish paying it. Yes, it's very true.
As consultants, that's what I'm talking. Because the client can say, 2 million, I make I pay 1.5 now, and don't worry, not going to take. I will pay 2 million. It may not be true.
But sir, there's some people it works for. There's some people the payment plans works for. Yes, that's it. Some people it works for. So, but the idea is just advise them to stick to the payment plans. That's just the main thing. That's just it. Yes.
You already saved yourself from stress.
That's just it.
But if the person maybe tomorrow says, I got 500, let me pay it after it, I think you can still be.
Of course, now, of course. All right. Estate inspection by clients. In a situation whereby your client demands inspection of desired estates, you must make prior contact to the area office in charge of the estate. In case you want to take your client there by yourself, get consent from the area office manager for record purposes. So we all have all our numbers of our offices. If at all you have any of your clients who wants inspection, you can give us a call. In fact, we can also even do a video call with whoever wants to see the land. It's also as easy as that. So all you have to just do is contact us. You're in a WhatsApp group. Just give us a contact and then we proceed from there. All right. Okay.
Another reason for that inspection, is so you don't claim you know everything without informing manager or anything. Just kind of client because you know the land and you are doing the.
Okay, that's true too. That's true. That's very true.
I've not seen your face before. Who the just the manager and the CEO or whatever. And then so you don't go there and ask for harassment. You have to inform.
Yes, very true. Very, very true. Thank you for that. All right, now number 11. At C-Plat Profile Limited, we are prepared to pay out commission to deserving consultants without delay. Not more than a day after payment is confirmed and the subscription form is submitted to the office, with or without the knowledge of the consultant's uplines concerned. Exactly. Now, this next one is notes. Commission payment can only be delayed for more than a day based on the following factors. This also is just very subjective here, but the factors are bank network problem, payment made on Friday evening, late submission of client subscription form. Yes. Now, number 13, all CPLAT profile consultants that receive their sales commission or won any of the realtor's incentive agrees to the use of their pictures or videos by the company for advert purposes on our website, radio station, TV station, or any other advertisement platform. This will be done in order to promote the company's product and services. I guess this is clear enough. Well, no. Now, okay, this is where the question is going to be answered. This is it. This is where the question is going to be answered. Now, it says, any consultant who disagrees with the consultant operation policy in number 13 above forfeits all company's incentives. So, if you say you won't take a picture because you are unphotogenic, then you forfeit it. No, everybody's fine. Everybody's fine, of course. Yes, I understand. Yes. But sir, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, sir. Will your value be promoted because you are unphotogenic? Would your value? Now, okay, let me give for instance, after you have sold and then we want to present you the whole gift and everything, and they say we want to promote your pictures will go out there and other people will see you as a valuable consultant. No, I'm not the one who made the sale. I'm not the one who made the sale. That's the thing. You may understand. Okay. All right, sir. No problem. It's okay. All right. Number 14 says, all CPLAT consultants are expected to visit our offices in their respective locations to acquaint themselves with the staff in the office, thereby enhancing profitable cooperation and team spirit in promoting the business within the environment. I guess this is also very clear enough. Yes, all right. No, this is the last one, number 15. All CPLAT consultants should note our consultant WhatsApp group is only meant for the dissemination of CPLAT consultant information and other related information. This is also very key, but I'm sure we all here know that we are to stick to the rules and not share something else on our group. Birthday. This is someone's birthday. Okay, on the group. Well, we celebrate them if they want us to, and if they give us a picture and say they want us. The person who did it for gave us. Someone who did it for, like, I think last year. The person gave us a picture and said we should celebrate. Yes, so that's fine. That was for birthdays of people, members of the group. Yes, exactly. Not someone outside. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. So it's something that will do that one, not we. Yeah, of course, we can do that one too. Is date of birth even there? Let me even yeah, the number. Yes. Now look at what I'm saying here. Naturally, as we have been partners as realtors, company have the date of birth. We can say, let's send this person to happy birthday message. And then we'll come to find the birthday. That's I wanted it to be as simple as that. That's why. It's actually not there. Yes. That particular lady in question, or what we can say now. You know, there are people responding late to your message. That's just it. Because whenever you enter the group, you see the message is there for you. You might be there for 1 week later. You are still seeing that same message. But meanwhile, we don't make it unnecessary. Yes, it's not that serious. So let's say it's your birthday now, when it's your birthday. I try to put it there, let's celebrate one of us. The family member here. Never wish happy birthday as a day. You can ask for her number. You can do that. Now is there. All right. So any questions? I guess all the questions have been clarified on. Okay. Thank you all for coming today once again.
That's it. Thank you. The only thing I want to add here is, like I said, I mentioned something about everything in life most times has to do with understanding. Even when you're having difficulty with any of these things, the best thing for you to do is to consult. Maybe consult us, consult the MD, and ask, what should we do about this particular situation? There can be an amendments to it to favor you. So, but most importantly, because what we are doing here, just like when we mentioned about the family recruitment now, we'll look into that also. What we are doing here is not to make things difficult for everybody, just to make things easy. And mostly to avoid you as a consultant having issues with clients, because they were not aware of the conditions. They were not aware. So that's not something good. It can spoil your own business. It can affect your own referrals from people, because it's better you are standing right, you are upright, you have your integrity. Whatever is going on, people know that, okay, this is the client's fault, not your fault. Because when people see it as though it's your fault as a consultant, people start avoiding you. They keep telling their brothers, don't go through her, she's difficult, to all those long stories. So that's why we are doing all these things, yes. Okay. Yeah. Mm.
The company has no right to inform the consultants offline.
Okay.
So that is with or without informing the company's offline.
Mm. I think he's saying,
What he's talking about.
yes.
With or without the knowledge of the consultant's offline.
Like it just means as though we don't need permission from your upline to pay you. Like, let's say I recruit you now. Once you make it, say the company does not need my permission to pay you your money. You're the one that made the payments. So whether the upline is aware or not, the company must pay you. That's what it means. They'll still pay the upline there his own. So it's not as if they'll come and say, come upline, oh, your upline has made payment to, should we pay him? So it's not his business.
I think I should suggest this from my own
Okay.
understanding. I think it would be better to make a list of among those tasks.
Mm-hmm.
So in case of any issues, consultant needed on
Mm.
urgent
Sure,
basis,
a list of what? List.
a list.
Of
Make a list of your individual's names and your contacts
And-
to consult on in case of any emergency or anything.
I think that's why we have our WhatsApp group. Anything you place there at all is responded quickly.
Your phone number, that's what he's saying.
No, my phone number you can. Yes, of course we have our customer care line on even on our website or the systems too.
Talking of the manager,
Mhm.
there are some things you can solve, the customer care cannot solve.
That's what I'm saying now. On that WhatsApp group, we are there 247. Even people in Enugu, once you put anything, maybe even if you want the personal attention, just put it there. I need an attention now. We'll respond to you quickly, directly on your own